Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Gamers for Hope, and more specifically, Gamers Against Suicide 2025. Yeah, sorry, chat, we've got to interrupt the bop that was going along in the intermission there, but it's well worth it because we are raising money here for the prevention of suicide, and more specifically, the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. So you've got the pinned comment in chat. If you can donate, please do. And a massive, massive thank you to everyone who has donated so far. $305 so far. Well, I'm not liking that 5. It's a bit of a, it just looks odd. Can we have somebody just give me a round number, please? But without any more further ado, we are going to Mesopotamia with NullSprite, and just a little warning now, I'm taking a little wind out of the sails here, but I think it's a good a time as any to say there are flashing lights at the end of the run. The runner and the commentator will give you a call to action if you are photosensitive, but bear that in mind that we are giving a warning now and you will have another one later, so if you do suffer from any kind of photosensitive epilepsy or anything of that nature, you might just want to temporarily dip away from the stream for a second. But over to you, NullSprite. Let's have some turbo graphics action.
Thank you, and thank you very much for having me. So, hi, I am NullSprite. This here is Mesopotamia, and I'm gonna run this game as fast as I can. And in order to help me with that, I got some cool people with me. I got Mr. Ludwig from Koopa here. Say hi, Lud.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, I'm also a runner of this game. It's been ages since my last run, and I used to be. We used to trade world records back and forth, but we can tell you a little bit more about that where the run is going, I suppose.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, but NullSprite is the world record holder at the moment, and this game is not what you would call a marathon safe. So it has some really tough strats that we have to execute perfectly, and we also need a lot of good RNG.
Exactly. And in order to, speaking of strats, we're going to start off with the hardest one, which is I need to hit 4, 5, or maybe even 6 frame perfect things here over the course of 30 seconds. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start the timer, and then we're gonna try, and then we're gonna see what happens. So, are we ready for the timer to begin?
We are ready. Just give the countdown.
Very fine. We'll start in 3, 2, 1, go. Let's see.
Good luck, man.
Thank you. I think that's good. That's 1, maybe. Cool, that's 2. I needed to start at a very specific frame there to get that first item. And now I'm gonna get this item, which is frame specific 2. Beautiful. That's 3. Fire here. Get that. That's 4. I'm also going to do some marathon save things here and try to find me some health. But that was, interesting enough, like a lot of frame-specific stuff in one go. Because the items in this game are controlled by RNG, in as much as we can call it RNG. It's not as much random as it is just values on a wheel going in a loop. So if you want something specific, you need to find the right frame for it. Which I did, thankfully. So, yeah. Mesopotamia.
You want to talk about a little bit about the story of this game?
Oh my God.
That's a lot of health.
Holy
very nice.
cow. Alright, I'm going this way then.
As you can see, we are playing as a little slinky toy from the 80s, I believe, or 80s or 90s.
70s for Slinky, I'm afraid.
Oh,
70s. Oh, that my bad. I was not born at that time. All right. Okay. From the 70s. So we are playing as a little slinky toy, and the slinky toy is weak as hell. We need a lot of items to power it up to be any kind of menace to these bosses that we are fighting here. And these items we can only acquire from the regular enemies that we kill along the way. And
sorry to interject for 1 second. I'm very much even further apologies. It was actually released in 1945.
What? Really?
Okay.
Apparently so.
Oh, no. This is bad. So I just got the question mark orb. You'll see me flashing in a lot of weird colors, and what that means is that my controls have been inverted for 5 seconds. So not all the items are good items here. But I am a Slinky, and the story of the game is that there is an evil sorceress who is out to rule the world. And in order to do that, she has made some robots, which are based on the Zodiac. And we can't have that, can we? Because we are the hero of the story, even as a Slinky. So we need to go and kick her ass and beat all of her minions. And this is Gemini. We're actually fairly deep in now because we got Aries and Taurus, and here's Gemini. And this is generally where the game sort of ramps up its speed. What's cool about this game, speedrun-wise, is that we don't really have a whole lot of tricks. We don't have glitches to use. We don't really do anything as far as like breaking the game is concerned. As long as you know how to jump and shoot and slink around, you are good. And yet it still is as hard as it is, because there is a lot of RNG, as Mr. Van Koopa said here. And because the RNG is on the wheel, there is nothing I can really do to change it here.
And I think you are right now setting up a world record for the most question mark items collected
Yeah,
in
that was
one run.
like 5?
Yeah, I think it was at least 5. Yeah,
So every time you see me like flashing in those rainbow colors, you will know that I'm trying to work with inverted controls here, and it's a lot of stuff to do. But that was good.
So what we can do with the Slinky, we can move him in left or right, and we can make him jump, which he can also like go to switch ceilings and floors. But usually we move extremely slow. So the first item that we desperately need, and what we got at the very start of the run, that NullSprite timed frame perfectly, is the speed item, which I think triples up our speed or something, at least doubles up, I don't know. It's just so much faster.
Yeah, it's a lot of speed.
It is essential for the run. The next item that you can see, we shoot lots of projectiles, but usually it's just one shot. But we shoot 3 shots instead, so that's another item that we need to pretty much triple our damage output. And the third one was the bouncers. So when we have the bouncer power up, the shots that we fire, they bounce off the walls, which is pretty significant for a couple of late boss fights. And then we have some other items. What we can see right now there's nothing. Yeah, there we got another health power up. So now we have max health. We have 8 health points, which we also need for the very end of the game.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of damage boosting through this game, so getting health early is tremendously important. And I will also just say that even though there are power-ups, there's like a point in the game where you go into like a boss rush, and if you lose your items at any one time here, it is because you die. So if you do die, you're sort of like, you need to power up again. And dying in this game is essentially a run ender. That is not something that you are going to want to do. So if I happen to lose everything here, there is a slight chance late game that I might need to use some save states, because then the run will just simply be over. We are also running the J version of this game, the Japanese version. And that is simply because it saves about 8 seconds in the beginning, because you can't actually skip the entire intro in the US version, which is called Summer Assault, by the by. So if you've ever played Summer Assault and this looks familiar, then that's generally just why. Interestingly enough, like the origin story here is weird. Because in the Japanese version of the game, what happens in the intro is that you get dropped to the Earth by what I assume it's Zeus, one of the elder Roman gods, anyhow. And you are an egg, and the Slinky hatches from an egg, which looks very, very similar to a Yoshi egg. So we just concluded that Yoshi and Slinky is essentially like the same family of things, which is like weird chicken. I don't know. That's the assumption anyhow. Feel free to add to this lore because we do not know what is going on. But that is the story. Slinky's hatched from eggs, and you heard it here first.
Yeah, so we just fought Libra. It's, I guess, one of the easier or at least intermediate difficulty bosses.
Libra is okay. I mean, at this point,
Yeah.
I got super duper lucky with my health, so there is no real chance of me messing up any of these bosses here. If I didn't have this kind of health, then we would maybe be in trouble. We're going into Scorpio, though, and that's like...
Yes, Scorpio. Scorpio is like the worst pushover boss in this game. Like, it's almost impossible to die to him. So, apologies to all the Scorpio people in chat, if there are any. But, yeah.
Yeah,
You
we're
did
gonna
not
have
get treated
opinions
well
on
in this
zodiac signs here, and I'm sorry if you get offended by that, but Scorpio is like...
Yeah, he just doesn't care.
The playable character is definitely a Slinky. That is what is happening here. We are Slinky with guns.
I mean, at least the Scorpio stage is a bit
Something's up
tougher.
here.
Did you not be able to skip the cutscene, or?
No, my controller did something here, so I was like, if you
Oh.
disconnect now, that's gonna be... We're gonna have issues here. But it was fine.
Yeah, you can
Alright,
see
getting
all these blocks with the arrows on it. When you step on it, you just get teleported to the other side, which can be really confusing if you play this game casually, because in the very later stages there are tons of them.
I need to look here. Let's see. That was top right. So when you look closely here, the first place where Sagittarius appears is the one he'll land on. That was top right again. So you just need to look a bit closely and try to determine like where he's gonna land. This is actually one of the more dangerous bosses if you're low on health. Because sometimes the arrows are gonna do weird things. Now we are coming up on Capricorn. I think this is easily like the most revised stage and or fights in this game. There have been so many different strats for Capricorn. Which is coincidentally also Baphomet. So if you are a Capricorn, then you are also Baphomet, according to this game. And you may decide for yourself how you feel about that.
Here we have the first introduction of... Oh, not the first, we had them before, but here we had a lot of them. These teleport tiles. They teleport you all over the place, and it's getting even more confusing than the switch tiles. And we will have them later as well. Yeah, so we had a lot of different strats for this boss. What you have to do here is, when he is flying, his body is invincible until you shoot his wings. Shoot his wings.
Oh, this is gonna be
for a certain amount of time, and then he falls down, and then he is vulnerable for like 3 seconds, and then he goes up again.
Yeah.
So routing this was kind of funny to do the most optimal way, and I think there's still some room for improvements.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the best we can come up with so far.
So as we're going to Aquarius, I guess I'll explain, because in the beginning of the game, if you noticed, the game asked me about my birthday. The reason being that the Zodiac robot corresponding to your birthday is going to be a good boss, which means you'll get items instead of bullets. And there are some choices you can do as far as speedrunning goes, and we decided on Pisces because it is the final boss. If something were to go wrong, I could fix it there. So that's like a good safe strat. And also it's just plain faster because Pisces is absolutely a humongous tank as far as health is concerned.
Yeah, but a quarry is not a pushover either. So once we hit her for a certain amount of time, which I don't even know the number, she starts flying around randomly. So what NullSprite is trying here is he tries to anticipate where she's gonna floating, and then sometimes he just jumps off the wall and tries to hit her with the triple shots. Because when we are in the corner like this, we can only fire single shots. But obviously it would deal way more damage if we hit her with triple shots, but it's not able to really 100% predict where she's going.
So we're coming up on Pisces now, and
did you
Pisces
count the
is
number
sort of
of
like...
sorry, did you count the number of lives that you have?
I have none.
None.
And
okay,
that is actually precisely why we're doing Pisces, because now I can get the extra lives that I need. I need at least 3. Optimally, I would have 4 or 5, because I'm going to be wasting a whole lot of lives going into the final fights here. So, we're going to play some Space Invaders first. That's a fun game too, right? So what the fish is gonna do, it's gonna shoot out items instead of bullets. And I'm gonna try and get some, that's one.
Nope. That was one. Nope. Nope.
Aiming is really hard for this. They come by so fast too, like, that's 2.
That's 2. Guess you better go with at least 4.
I could have gotten that. 3. I'll get one more, maybe 2 more, just for marathon safety.
Yeah, that's 4.
Oh, I could have gotten that. Yes, I know, the time is about to run out. Be quiet.
That's it, right? Did you get one?
No, I didn't. If I don't get one the next turn, I'm going anyways, because I don't need to stand here and do this. I didn't get the sun, so it's like...
Yeah, Pisces is a really tanky fish.
Tremendously tanky, as you can tell. There you go. Alright, so now that we've beaten all of the robots, there's a cutscene here which I'm gonna skip, where the sorceress just shows up and is like, oh, you didn't beat all my robots, because here they are again, and now we have a boss rush. GG. And the dangerous thing here is that normally my iframes would be 3 seconds. Here they are 1 second. So essentially my iframes are cut to 1/3. And that's generally, of course, going to be a problem. And also another thing about this is that the stages are a little bit different. Sometimes that's a good thing and sometimes it's a bad thing. But you'll see me like going down and basically just standing inside the boss and firing. We do have some lore about refights though, because back in the day, as Lud said, when we were trading world records in this game, there was a time in which we were playing sort of like at the same time, and I got the world record and I was super excited, and I sent him a screenshot like, look at my time, it's so much better. And I got the response like, yeah, that's cool, but I'm in refights. And it went, I think, 4 minutes, and then he sent me a message and had already beaten me. I had the world record for like 4 minutes then, and I was mighty upset about this happening. But that was cool, because I didn't get it back later on.
Yeah, sometimes you need the extra motivation, I guess.
Yes, I'm assuming that's your story here, giving me the motivation. But I still say that was That was a mean thing to do.
Ah, when refights right now. It's kind of a meme for a private meme here.
Yeah, the only meme we have, because we don't have any people playing this game. So if you're looking at this and thinking like, wow, this is an interesting game, it certainly is. It is extremely simple to learn. It's hard to master, but there are no tricks essentially. You can learn this in a day, and then just go from there trying to master it.
Yeah, so while we're doing refights, probably a good time to announce that this game was developed and released by Atlas Games. Atlas is a Japanese video game manufacturer and publisher who is still active today. I think they also do the Megami Tensei series and the Persona series. So
That's right.
I don't know if they have I never played any Persona games, but I don't know if they have some reference to this game or
Why
to
would
these
they make
type
reference
of game
to this game?
to these type of games from the past. I don't know.
Alright, so Virgo's kind of being mean. She will move around a lot, and this is like one of the scarier stages, and also refights, just because she will have absolutely no compunctions about spawning like right on top of you. That will be like no problem. Alright, I'm gonna do this, so I'll be quiet for a sec. Up, down, up, and then it goes down, and as it comes up, it despawns. I can go here, and then I wait for the shot and go after that, like so. And now I should have just enough health to get this boss. Some of the late bosses here are enormously tanky, and with me having my iframes cut in 3, essentially, it's not great. As far as Atlas goes, I remember once I tried to at them in like social media because there was they said like a message like, you know, what's your favorite game? And I mentioned this game, and I was like, what were you thinking when you made this game? And I got no response. That was very sad.
It's a very weird game design to begin with. I mean, even if you are the fast Slinky, if you have the speed power up, it's almost impossible to dodge most of these projectiles. So you just, for the most of them, you just have to tank them through.
Yeah.
And if you deal like only a third of the damage, you just won't kill them in time.
Coming up on Sagittarius, I'm gonna be quiet and see. That was top right, I believe.
Alright, yeah, let's see me as well. And it can help you out if you top left.
Was that top left? I think it was top left. Yeah.
Yeah. It's probably the most gimmicky boss fight because it's actually something you have to do to win the fight. You just have to pay attention to where he spawns first.
What's difficult here, though, is that you don't have the platforms that you can jump on. If you want to go somewhere else, you actually need to damage boost through the centaur, and that's like really, really terrible. This is gonna be interesting. Right on top of me, of course. Go up, 1, 2, 3, and down. Beautiful. I'm gonna see if I can maybe... Beautiful. That's what I wanted.
Oh,
Extra cycle. This is gonna be like a despawn on the first hit.
yeah, it's probably... Yep, there was 1 HP left. That can sometimes happen.
This is where I am tremendously scared. Aquarius is really dangerous, and I don't have anything to help dodging these bullets. And the room is so cramped. It's like so much smaller, so claustrophobic. I did remember to count the music cycles. I'm not going to be jumping here because, as you can see, she is really mean. She is absolutely not joking around in this fight. And those water bullets are going everywhere, and I am really hoping the fight is over soon because this is not great. Oh, well, thank you.
1 HP to the rescue.
Okay, I'm about to do some Space Invaders here, and Lud's gonna tell you about the Mimickers and why we hate the Mimickers.
Yeah, so Pisces 2 or Pisces Refight is the last one before we actually face the final boss rush, which will consist of 3 different fights. The first one is the Sorceress, which is not too difficult to beat. But after that we have the Mimickers. So the Sorceress, as she dies, I guess will spawn 3 clones of you to fight you. And these clones are the worst part of the speedrun and the worst part of the game overall. Because they spawn in 3 different moving speeds, and they run around randomly, and they constantly shoot at you. And you have to defeat them. But you won't have enough health to defeat all of them before you die. So you can just hope that you deal enough damage to them to like not get completely obliterated once you have no powers. Because again, once we die one time, we lose all our power-ups, and at this point we can never get it back because there are no regular enemies anymore that can spawn some.
One thing that's also terrible about the Mimickers is they are quite tanky. There is a thing we have discovered, which is if they move and intersect at the same time as you are shooting them, they start taking 1 damage per frame instead of 1 damage per bullet. So we want that to happen. But they don't always like to do that, so this is a bit of a cross your fingers and see kind of situation. This is not good. They are not at all doing what they are supposed to be doing here.
At the very beginning, I think the slowest and the fastest were crossing each other, so they might die a little bit earlier now because they should have taken a lot more damage. But yeah, this is definitely... If Null was on PB pace before Mimickers, this would have definitely killed the pace.
Yeah. Mimickers can easily waste a full minute if you are really unlucky, and I am not great on lives either, I can tell. So this is gonna be fun. Please go down. Thank you.
Alright, yeah, that should be good. Yeah.
I'm gonna say this now. This is the final phase of the final fight. What's gonna happen after 6 cycles is that there's gonna be a lot of flashing lights, and I really do mean a lot of flashing lights. We're talking 10 seconds of multicolored flashing lights that will fill the entire screen. When this happens, if you are at all photosensitive, this is going to be a very bad day for you. So if you are photosensitive in any way, this is probably the time to maybe sort of minimize the browser tab and listen to the sound of my beautiful voice with the Scandinavian accent and everything. As I defeat this DVD screen-inspired boss, which I don't know exactly what's going on here, but this is the creator. And so the creator is actually the real final boss here. Like, the sorceress was just the creator in some form. So why is it the creator instead of the sorceress? We don't know, but here's the creator.
I think this is cycle number 3 right now?
Yeah. So what I'm doing here is, you will have seen me like use the autofire of the TurboGrafx controller a lot during this run. But here I'm actually doing single shots, and I'm sort of like tapping the button instead to space out the bullets so that the creator takes damage faster. If you just bunch up your shots, it's not going to work at all. So I'm sort of tapping the button like you would if you were running Donkey Kong or Diddy Kong Racing. Like that same sort of like pace as you are tapping to make the car go faster.
Alright, this is cycle number 5 now, if I counted correctly.
Yeah, this is 5.
So one more after this, and then photosensitive people should really shut your eyes or look away from the screen for like 10 seconds.
And I don't know if you're keeping like a look on my counter lives here, but this is not super great as far as lives are concerned. So,
Alright, final cycle.
Final cycle. If you are photosensitive, this is the time to look away. Now, I'm telling you this right now. I'm not joking. This is uncomfortable for me, even. I am about to call time as the head takes the final hit, which is when the flashing starts. Keep your finger on the button and I'm going to yell time.
That's coming up soon.
It's coming up quite soon. Time.
But enjoy the screen.
Good lord.
I have no clue what they were thinking when they programmed it like this.
This was the
Holy moly.
90s, you know. It's And then we step out into the beautiful world, and all of the robots.
Just so you can look. I think you can look again now, people.
Yes,
Yeah,
you
you
can
can
certainly
look
look again.
Yeah, the two
Again,
cupids
so-
are taking us to heaven, and now we are having a feast with the good creator or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
With the good version, with God himself. I don't know.
So that's the end. I will say, if this was the American version, the final text would read, Viva Nonon. Did you finish your homework? Don't catch a cold. Take a bath. The end. It doesn't say that in the Japanese version. That was simply a message for the American people playing. So, now you know.
Good
It would
advice.
also, for some reason, it would list also the bosses here, but they would like reverse the letters for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah. Out of curiosity, what was the time for this run?
Your time was 27 minutes and 7 seconds. 27:07.
Wow.
I think that's definitely that's a marathon PB. Definitely, that was better than my last run that I did.
Anywho,
On a marathon,
that is Mesopotamia for you. So, thank you very much for having me play this weird old game in this marathon. It was a lot of fun.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you. I like weird and old games, so definitely thumbs up from me. But thank you, NullSprite. Thank you, Ludwig von Cooper. This is the end of my hosting shift for the moment, but do not go too far, because coming up next, I believe, we have Sonic Rush Adventure from Speedbreakers 55. But do not forget, folks, that we are raising money here for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. So if you can donate, you've got the linked comment pinned at the top of the chat. But we're going to take a brief intermission. We shall be back very shortly, but don't go too far.